Good afternoon. Welcome back to Money Control's live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Lovisha, Darad, and my colleague Yatin Mota. Well, what a fantastic Friday, Yatin. Both the Sensex and Nifty gained about over 2% each and ended the day strongly as well. We saw that Sensex reclaimed the 79,100 mark and even Nifty reclaimed the 23,900 mark, well above that 200 DMA average that we were, eyeing out in opening session. Even Nifty rebounded from its 5-month low. Of course, the big watch, that was your Adani Group stocks. That reversed its loss from yesterday's trade. We saw Ambuja Cement led the rally with 6% jump, which was followed by ACC that gained nearly 4%. Even flagship Adani Enterprises saw over 2% increase, while other Adani stocks also reversed their losses. Yatin, yesterday the big headline, that was the Adani Group stocks, but today some relief rally was seen, and even PSU stocks that came under pressure yesterday saw a bit of a relief rally and ended up with about 3% gain.
Great, if you look at today's trading session, clearly 2.5% gains coming in for the benchmark indices. The much awaited relief rally is here on Darad Street, and what a day it is, especially ahead of the Maharashtra elections results, and obviously we also have Jharkhand assembly elections results. Before that, we have seen a huge rally on the markets. In fact, if you look at the Nifty, almost 550 points higher for that index. Nifty Bank as well as mid-cap indices also up anywhere between 1 and 1.5%. Now, if you look at the advance decline ratio, it was also quite healthy on Dalal Street. In fact, we have the advance decline ratio which was almost 3:1, so 3 stocks advancing versus 1 stock declining, and all the sectoral indices, barring the Nifty Media, traded in deep green. In fact, Nifty IT, Realty, PSU banks, were the ones which gained almost 3% on an average. And clearly today the star of the entire market was Reliance Industries. That heavyweight gained nearly 3% in trade. SBI, TCS also were the other heavyweights which contributed to the market rally, Lovisha.
Yes, that's right. Quite a bit of positivity that came in Dalal Street, and we ended up with the week with 1% gain for both the benchmark indices. If you look at some of the top Nifty 50 gainers, that include the likes of SBI, TCS, Titan, Ultratech Cement and ITC. SBI up about 4% yesterday. We saw a cut of about 4%, but it has reversed the loss, and it is the top Nifty 50 gainer as well. We saw the Jefferies report coming out and saying that they have the stable asset quality going ahead. We'll be discussing more about that later in the segment. Only one Nifty loser, that is your Bajaj Auto, which saw a cut of about 0.2% in today's trade. But broader end of the markets, that also performed well. Mid-cap and small-cap indices saw a surge, and mid-cap especially outperformed, and it was up about nearly 2%. What do you make of it, Yatin, for the broader end of the markets?
So, the broader end of the market was much stable. In fact, if you look at the Nifty 500, we have top gainers like Raymond, Praj, Swan Energy. All of these stocks gain anywhere between 10 to 15%. In fact, Praj, after that stellar guidance for FY30, wherein it targets 10,000 crores in revenues by then, gained 15% in trade. Stocks like Fine Organics also did well. What did not do well was the Adani Group stocks, which were in the cash markets. The mid-cap end of the Adani Group stocks, which is Adani Green, Adani Energy Solutions, continue to struggle in trade, down 7 to 8%. Hunasa Consumer as well as Ratnamani Metals were other stocks which lost in trade. But look at the stocks which are at 52-week high. We had the likes of Nalco, Aditya Birla AMC, Persistent Systems, Fortis, Mastech, Persistent Systems. The mid-cap IT and the AMC pack clearly trading at 52-week highs fearlessly.
All right, let's take a look at some of the top shakers and movers, and of course the top highlights on the Dalal Street today. Moving on, for the first stock in focus is the top Nifty 50 gainer, that is your SBI. Well, the PSU lender was the top Nifty performer after the Jefferies reiterated its buy rating on the counter and shared a target price of 1,030 rupees per share. Now, this target, it implies a potential upside of over 25% from today's high. Jefferies also identified SBI as its top sector pick and said that its loan to deposit ratio has more room to accommodate any improvement in the deposit pickup. The brokerage firm also said that its asset quality remains strong even in the unsecured portfolio. Now, this comes at a time when many lenders are grappling with higher slippages, especially coming in from the microfinance segment. Jefferies also expects that SBI's margins are expected to benefit from its substantial share of MCLR linked loans at a time when rate cuts are likely to be gradual. Yatin, SBI, it made up yesterday's loss in today's trade. Given we have positive commentary also from Jefferies, and majority of the experts are sharing some bullish stance on the PSU lenders. Is it likely we can see some outperformance going ahead for SBI?
So I think so far, the PSU banking lot has done well. In fact, in today's market also the PSU index and the PSU stocks were doing well. If you look at SBI, last time when I spoke to the chairman, he said that they're targeting 1 lakh crore in profits, and they're already reaching that 1 lakh crore in operating profits. So I think the profitability for SBI remains strong. They do not need capital as of now. And when it comes to the corporate loan book, I think they're already sanctioning loans quite aggressively, which will mean that the next 3-4 quarters the corporate loan growth should be in excess of 15%. So on the loan front, I think things are looking good. And when it comes to the asset quality, I think second half should be much better, given the fact that the rural pickup should happen by then.
That's right. But coming to the second stock in focus is your Praj Industries, because we discussed it about in the top Nifty 500 gainers as well. That also hogged the limelight, and the stock soared 10% after the company came out with its plan for 2030. Now, the company that primarily deals with bioenergy solutions, they said that they expect to triple the revenues to 10,000 crore rupees by 2030. Now, the company also intends to increase the share of its export business to 50% from the current level of 29%. The company also said that it is eyeing opportunities in multiple sectors, which include sustainable aviation fuel, biopolymers, and energy transition. They also plan to set up a dedicated advanced manufacturing facility at Mangalore with an investment of nearly 400 crore rupees. Yatin, yesterday we were discussing about Indian Hotels that came out with its 2030 plans. That also sent the stock to record high. Today it is Praj Industries. What do you make of it?
So I think as you were mentioning, a tall target, 10,000 crores is what they target in 2030, and most importantly, I think with ethanol, becoming one of the preferred fuels on the climate change front, I think a lot of opportunities for this particular company. But shifting focus from Praj to Info Edge, which is Naukri, the company has seen good upgrades by brokerages today. In fact, today Goldman Sachs has upgraded the stock to buy from earlier sell, and now the target stands at 8,600. Given the fact that there is pickup in IT sector, and their flagship website, which is Naukri.com, should see some traction in earnings, plus the IT hiring, which has been muted for the past few quarters, should be able to pick up in second half as the IT growth recovers and overall macro environment globally improves. In fact, the valuations are also supported by the growth that we are seeing in Zomato as well as 99acres. And remember, both of these assets of Naukri, which is 99acres as well as Zomato, the kind of stake that they have, clearly improves the overall valuation visibility. In fact, Goldman Sachs expects that moving ahead, the kind of segmental growth that we could see because of hiring improvement could boost the overall earnings visibility for Info Edge. That stock gained nearly 5% after this Goldman Sachs upgrade, and clearly the market is also supportive of the entire IT pack today.
Yes, that's right. But moving on, the next stock in focus, that is your Sobha. Well, the shares rose over 7% today after Investec initiated coverage on the counter with a target price of 2150 rupees per share. Now, according to Investec, Sobha has consistently generated healthy operating cash flows and they have also reduced balance sheet leverage. Now, the realty player also plans to strategically enter the Mumbai and Noida markets. They target a strong long-term presence in these markets within 2 to 3 years. Another brokerage firm, which is your HSBC, they also reiterated its buy call on the counter. Now, the brokerage said that following its recent rights issue, the business is poised for a strong growth going ahead. Yatin, apart from Sobha, a lot of realty stocks have been in demand lately. So, what's keeping them, in buzzing and among the popularity among the investors?
I think the real estate, especially south-based real estate, they have higher land banks, they have higher volume. So when it comes to Sobha or Prestige Estates, their overall project size is quite large. In fact, a few days back, Godrej Properties also announced their project in the southern markets, wherein the revenue potential was more than 500 crores. It is more like a volume play, wherein you get large volumes and large sales happening in single projects. So I think that is one advantage that Sobha and other such companies have. Probably real estate in Mumbai and Delhi is different than what it is in southern India. But yes, Sobha is one of those companies which recently reduced their overall debt with fundraising happening. So probably from here on their interest costs lower and volumes picking up, probably catching the highlights of the brokerages as well as the analysts in the real estate space.
All right, yes. All right, now we're ending the week on a positive note, and tomorrow we have the Maharashtra elections, results that is coming up. But we'll be watching out about the developments over that over the weekend as well. But with that, we have come to an end of this edition of the Closing Bell. We'll be back with markets on Monday. For now, it's a wrap from Yatin and me. Do have a good weekend, and thank you for watching.